Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If you've never been here before, you already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Jamaican sex convict gets lifeline from Bermudan court before his deportation. Lifeline means they can't deport him because the judge saved him. But the judge didn't save him permanently. The judge saved him for a little bit. Let me tell you the whole story. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on what should happen to him and people like him. The Bermudan court has given a convicted sex offender a possible lifeline to remain in the country after a judge stayed his deportation order. His name is Brittonia Taylor. He served 8 years for sexual assault, and he is contesting the deportation order to send him back to Jamaica. Pucine Judge Larry Mussenden, however, indicated that he would not squash the deportation order. Bermuda's Royal Gazette newspaper reported that last week. Instead, so you hear that. The judge said he's not going to squash the deportation order, meaning he's not going to finalize it and say that this person cannot be deported. Instead, what he will do, the judge says that he would stay it, hold it off, stall it, so that Taylor could make written submissions to the Minister of National Security for Bermudan relatives to put in some good words as to why he should not be deported. Yo, listen to what this man did. Okay? Remember, I know, me, SouFLoTV said, when you're going overseas, when you're going to another country, it doesn't matter if it's the US or if it's another Caribbean island or wherever else. Most of the times when we leave, cause Jamaica nice snublows and skirt, and we don't really want left Jamaica for nothing unless you're really like in need or you want to go see the world and come back. You know what I'm saying? Me like wake up to my ackee and saltfish. Me like wake up to my roast breadfruit and them fried back over in the morning with me ackee and saltfish and my hot cup of cocoa tea and them something there. But when you leave Jamaica, leave your worst self behind, because you're representing a whole nation when you're overseas, any country you go, right? Okay. I am satisfied on the balance of probabilities that the process was unfair because of the failure to make full disclosure of the information to be provided to the minister in the circumstances of the draconian nature of deportation. This is what Mussenden, who is the judge, was quoted as saying by the newspaper. However, I find that the lack of full disclosure can be remedied in this case by further disclosure and the opportunity for the application to make further submissions as desired, which is effect answers the main thrust of the case, the judge added. Listen, I'm not going to go through all the long talking and all that. Let me cut to the chase. Taylor, this man has lived on the island. Before all this, they're talking about all this submission. We don't need to go into that. Taylor has lived on the island in Bermuda since 2000. We're in 2021. So that's 21 years ago, right? And he has 4 Bermudan children. He said in an affidavit that he has a 23-year-old Bermudan child and he's lived there for 21 years. So you can go figure that part out in your mind. He has 17-year-old twins and a 10-year-old son. All of these children are with his one Bermudan wife. So one part of this man wants to do good, where he understands family and he understands the importance of being a father and being a man in the house and raising your children and sticking to your wife and all these things. Because he has all these children with one woman. That's not to say him not have picnic out there that he doesn't know about. But I'm saying, according to the report, that part of the report is stellar. According to the newspaper, Taylor was sentenced to 16 years in prison in 2012. That's 12 years after he started living on that island, after he himself pleaded guilty to a sex attack. Listen to this one. The sex attack happened at a bus stop in Smith Parish in Bermuda a year earlier. So he committed that sex act on the woman in 2011. They didn't catch him till 2012, where he was tried and sentenced speedily. Now, that woman didn't know this man. That woman was standing at the bus stop waiting to get the bus to go to where she was going. And a man come up out of nowhere, dragged her into bushes that were near the bus stop and forced her to perform a sexual act on him. He admitted that he carried his victim to an isolated area and forced her to perform a particular sex act on him. I don't need to explain in details what that was to you. You can imagine what it is. Taylor also attempted to rape the woman, but she was able to alert some passers-by who were passing by the bus stop. People coming to the bus stop to get the bus just like she was. People passing, walking by the bus stop, going home, going about their business, and she was fighting the whole friggin' time. This woman was fighting the whole damn time. The sentence was later reduced to 14 years by the Court of Appeals, the newspaper also said. Taylor also admitted again to two times, taking away a female that was jogging in a neighboring parish 35 minutes before the bus stop attack, and was sentenced to another year in prison for intruding on her privacy. Well, that woman, he didn't take her away. They said he was accosting her. Whatever accosting means to you. Jam her up, walk in our path, try to push her in the bushes, draw her in the bushes. She made a complaint. He got another year for that. The Jamaican was released from prison in October of 2020, and he was due to be flown back to Jamaica by deportation orders March 29th of 2021. But Taylor's legal woes escalated after he was hauled before a Bermudan magistrate court after he was arrested on March 28th, this 2021, for another offense, failure to attend a pre-flight COVID test and breach of an order to quarantine. Pre-flight means after, right? Or before. Pre is before, usually. So it's a pre-flight. How them arrest him pre-flight COVID test? They were trying to deport him. But you have to take the COVID test to get deported. Him said now take the COVID test. Probably because he didn't want to be deported. So they arrested him for that. And breach of an order to quarantine. Them say quarantine, the man was all over the place. The court was told that he made threatening comments while he was being taken to prison after his arrest, and said that he would take the whole plane down if he is deported or if they tried to deport him. A terrorist attack, or terrorist threats. But due to legal proceedings filed by Taylor contesting his removal from Bermuda, a subsequent deportation flight that was scheduled for the Jamaican did not go ahead. So somebody is advising him, well, I bet he has a lawyer, because the lawyer said file this and it will stop you from getting on that flight. And the judge said, okay, you know what? Go ahead and install it for a minute. I'm giving you till this date and this time for all the family members and friends and everybody to write a letter in, say some words on your behalf in person, who you are as a person, because you've been living here for 21 years. The whole article did not say how old Taylor is though, because if he's been living there since 2000, we're in 2021, he's been there 21 years. If this person is like 30 years old, I would say Bermuda needs to keep him, because he's been there since he was a baby. He's all Bermudan. He's not Jamaican. He was just born in Jamaica. even though my kids are not born in Jamaica, but they're still considered Jamaican because their mother and father are Jamaican. Their grandparents on both sides are Jamaican. We live in a Jamaican household, which I patwa every day, a whole day around them. The Jamaican flag flies in my house. They're growing up Jamaican cultured, even though they are on American soil in Florida in the United States of America. But I don't know the depths of his situation, right? But a woman was standing at the bus stop that don't know you from Adam and Eve. And this woman, could you imagine, put yourself in that shoe. You're just standing at the bus stop just waiting. Because this happened to me in Miami, you know. When I was in Miami, I was standing at the bus stop waiting to get to the bus. And I swear to God on everything I love, I put one foot up on the bus step after the driver opened the door. And a man put a gun to my head and pulled me off the bus step. The driver for the bus drove away and called the police. This man dragged me behind a big old dumpster and told me to take off all the jewelry I had on me. Alright, I can relate to the violation that this lady feel, and I still can't feel what she felt because she get cock put in her mouth. And then man pull down your clothes, undress you from your waist down, bend you over and I try put in him hood. That's a big friggin' violation. This lady don't know you. She's scarred for life. How did you come up with this out the blue? I think he was doing this in Bermuda the whole friggin' time he was there. He just finally got caught. Because you know when some criminal get comfortable, what them do? Them start do them thing everywhere and anywhere. It's like when you're first starting out riding a bicycle. You willy, you shake a little bit, you drop off, you put one foot down, you pick the foot back up. Next thing you know, you're lifting up the front wheel, you're doing one wheel wheelie, you turn biking professional, and you can do it everywhere and anywhere. That's how these criminals attack, and that's how they operate. In the beginning, he probably was more quiet with it. But as time went by, he felt comfortable. So I'm starting to drag with people at bus station. It's just so happened that in this particular situation, this lady was able to alert some people after she was violated, big time, and sexually assaulted. So we don't want him back in Jamaica. So Bermuda, please, here is my deal. He said he was going to take the plane down if he was deported. Chain that mother, you know what, up from head to toe. Him can't do nothing. Handcuff him and chain up him whole body. Roll his ass down the friggin' steps of the plane when you get to Jamaica and land there. Whether it's Donald Sangsters or it's Norman Manley, roll it Ross down the step them. Bloodum, 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 bloodum. Bloom, make him lick every step. Kick his ass out and send him back to Jamaica, where when he tried that, people will jungle justice him rotted. There's no way, and no way that we need that type of a person back in Jamaica. Keep him right there in Bermuda. Listen now. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me if you agree with me or not. And I'll catch you on the next video with SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.